Everyday Peace on the Battlefield. Roger McGinty, in this chapter of the book Everyday Peace, How So-Called Ordinary People Can Disrupt Violent Conflict, explores how informal truces and acts of compassion can occur amidst warfare, provide a compelling narrative of everyday peace where pockets of tolerance and civility exist even in the midst of warfare. These acts, often overlooked or forbidden by military authorities, highlight individual and group initiatives that resist national antagonism. They suggest that seemingly powerful forces like states and militaries may not be as dominant as perceived. They highlight the resilience of the human spirit and the potential for compassion to transcend the boundaries of war. This concept, termed everyday peace power, suggests that even in warfare there is room for compassion and shared humanity. This chapter is structured around three main sections, each representing a different level of everyday peace: weak, medium, and strong. These sections draw on a continuum that encompasses sociality, reciprocity, and solidarity. While the cases discussed could be seen as instances of compassion or shared humanity, they ultimately contribute to the broader concept of everyday peace. Sociality, representing weak peace, involves compassion and connectedness, humanizing war and resisting top-down warlike behaviors. Sociality, often individual or small group actions, can add humanity to the battlefield, though it is not necessarily reciprocal. Its manifestation often relies on individuals' ability to act outside of higher military authority, showing the informal and subtle nature of such actions. These instances of compassion and sociality challenge the notion of war as solely driven by hostility, offering glimpses of peace even in the midst of war. An example from the chapter comes from World War II and tells of a ferocious hand-to-hand fighting momentarily disrupted by a split-second decision by a German machine gunner in the tank to spare the life of a British infantryman. The German soldier's decision to spare the life of his enemy illustrates a moment of compassion and humanity amidst the brutality of war. Reciprocity, found in actions like local truces and World War I, reflects medium peace, driven by mutual self-interest. One striking instance of reciprocity is the Christmas Truce of 1914, often referred to as the Live and Let Live ceasefire. Despite being in the midst of brutal warfare, soldiers from both sides of the war spontaneously declared unofficial ceasefires to celebrate Christmas together. They exchanged gifts, sang carols, and even played football matches in no man's land, demonstrating a remarkable display of reciprocity and humanity amidst the horrors of war. These acts of reciprocity, though born out of self-interest and hence survival chances, demonstrate as fundamental humanity that persists even in the most dehumanizing conditions of war. Solidarity represents a strong peace, though rare in warfare due to its political risks. It involves standing with the enemy, which can be dangerous for individuals and challenging to justify in the face of prevailing nationalist and antagonistic sentiments. However, such instances have emerged, offering a unique perspective on human behavior in times of war. An example can be seen in the actions of the Protection Squadron Junker and two other young men during a lecture by a Protection Squadron officer on Nazi racial hygiene policies, including the euthanasia of mentally handicapped individuals. Despite the chilling nature of the lecture, the Protection Squadron Junker protested, stating his formal objection to the disregard of medical ethics and the Hippocratic Oath. His actions were echoed by two other young men who associated themselves with his protest, one stating, "I protest formally against this disregard of medical ethics and the Hippocratic Oath to which I feel myself bound as a student of medicine," and another saying, "I also, what you're propagating is a crime." This example demonstrates a form of solidarity that the Protection Squadron Junker and his companions took a stand based on their ethical beliefs against the Nazi Party and opposing injustice, even in the face of prosecution. The majority of instances discussed in this chapter originate from the First and Second World Wars. The author asks whether these historical cases can still be relevant in modern world given the evolution of warfare, particularly with the advent of digital and remotely controlled technologies that create physical separation between fighters. What do you think?